Okay, it's streaming live now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. We are in the Woodlands Innovation Lab for our March CEC meeting. We did this one in person. We are not as well attended as I might have liked, but you know, you run with the people who are here. So we appreciate everyone for joining. We do have, you know, one of our youngest members ever at a CEC meeting that I've been involved. So happy to have him here. Hopefully, you know, we hear something from the youth in our community, and we will get started. I don't have my, it's a limited agenda that I'm not necessarily gonna go put on the computer and stuff, but we will start with introductions, and we will start with youth before beauty.
Yeah. Say your name, what's for you? Really loud.
My name is Ewan and I go to Highbury School.
What game you playing, Ewan?
It's a Lego game. Digital Legos.
No worries.
I am Samantha Ives, parent of Highview and Bailey, and PTA counselor.
Jamal Thomas, CEC chair, former Woodlands graduate and board member.
David Warner, parent of a Woodlands graduate and board member.
Kiana Washington, board member, parent, community member, used to be a student, graduated from Woodlands 1990, and all the gamut. I have a whole bunch of stuff under me, but I'm happy to be here tonight.
Okay, and so tonight, what we have is
You didn't
know-
let Miss Horn?
oh, I'm so sorry, Ms. Horn.
Oh, good evening. My name is Edith Horn, and I'm the past president of the PTA Council. Good evening, everybody.
Evening.
Thank you so much. And so on our agenda tonight, what I have is takeaways from STEAM night. We'll speak quickly about the boys varsity basketball and everything that they have going on. Talk to the spring musical, and I will hand things over to Dave to go on over some FinFact updates, the Nettie Jackson Award, the Town Art Show, and the budget vote. And then we'll bring up any additional news, events, questions, comments, concerns, or things that folks want to discuss. So we just finished STEAM night here at the district. I thought that it was an outstanding event. Young people looked like they were having an incredible time. You know, I feel like our future is bright if they're the ones who are going to be, you know, building tomorrow's technology. Would love to hear from other folks that were at STEAM night on what they thought. Ewan, we'll ask you as well. What did you think of STEAM night?
I enjoyed it very much and there were a lot of things to do, so I stayed interested.
What was your favorite part?
My favorite part was probably the what was it called?
Which
I don't
one?
remember.
Which one? You?
I think it was the pixel one.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, tell us about the pixel art. How did that work?
When it's a thing on the Chromebook that when you click, then it makes a square and you could draw things and animate them by just clicking on them and yeah, that's basically all it is.
So it had like a coding element to it?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. All right, awesome. So I always love to ask questions like that. You just gave us a grow. You just gave us a glow. What about a grow? If there's something that we do to improve STEAM night next year, what might that be?
I really liked all the activities, but maybe there could be at least one more.
Okay. Anything in particular like that that was missing? Okay. Well, thank you so much. Anybody else want to share?
My favorite thing that I noticed was that in a giant room full of students, everyone was busy. There was not a single student distracted or goofing off except to have fun with what they were doing. They were bouncing around like ping pong balls from active engagement to active engagement and leaving the adults in the dust, which is how it should be.
Okay. For me, I finally got my neck tattoo. You know, I've been dreaming of for all these days. It's a pie neck tattoo. So I learned a little bit more about pie. There was some magic tricks that had math associated with them. That was always fun, some card tricks. I just love seeing young people engaged in learning where they're leaning in, as opposed to, you know, not wanting to pay attention. So, you know, non-traditional things outside the classroom I love, and that's what, today was. I guess that this was primarily, I mostly saw younger, students and maybe up to 9th grade. Was there a reason for that? Or was it that the 10th, 11th, 12th, they just didn't do it, or what was, do we know why they would?
So this is being done separately from the science fair. No, I understand that much. So it previously,
Right.
prior to COVID, you had a junior high level science fair, and you had a bunch of stuff for the younger kids. And then you had the senior level science fair, and you ended up taking up both gymnasiums and having in the number of exhibits that you had. So you wander through the halls and you get through RJ Bailey in the hallway, like the breezeway stuff. And you have, you know, things happening in the cafeteria, and then you go down and look at all the science exhibits, and you saw the trifolds in one area. The thing with the pyramids, the thing with the golden ratio, those trifolds, that was kind of what you had, but for like, almost every student in the building had a trifold. And so there was acres and acres of trifolds, and you go through and people would tell you about their individual science projects.
So.
And that hasn't been
Yeah. So
That hasn't
that
been
every
reconnected.
school had to represent at the science fair. So, and a lot of times the high school students would do an experiment with RJ Bailey or with Highview students. So that's how they incorporate, but like, Trustee Warner said, it was prior to COVID. So I guess they're trying to get, you know, coming back to STEAM nights, bringing families back in. And then I guess we could make a suggestion, you know, to make sure maybe they can add some high school volunteers to come and bring the smaller kids in, because we know high school is like, oh, I'm not going back to school, but if it's with a purpose, they'll go back. If they feel that they're helping the next generation, you know, so just probably a good feedback to what you said that, because that's how it used to be prior to COVID.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely something that we could do by way of suggestions.
Right.
And I just, you know, I'm way more collaborative than I am, you know, competitive. But, you know, I've seen some really interesting things that have been put on, where it turns into like competitions where, you know, kids from this school are competing almost the same way our basketball team right now is up in states and finals and stuff, where certain individuals become represented at these, you know, larger fairs with other schools, and I would love to see.
And we used to have science research here.
Right.
We used to have a class for science research. We also have an academic challenge team at the high school that maybe, and now that COVID's gone, they can go back to competing against other school districts. And that's kind of like the format of Jeopardy. And one time we made it all the way to like regional level, where we went to like Long Island and we competed. So hopefully we can get those things back.
Okay. Yeah, definitely questions that we will be able to ask. Anybody else want to share anything related to the STEAM night?
I liked the little the various little Ozbots and the various little things where you would find a way of programming something that moves around for you, like for example, you could draw out a pathway for this thing to follow, and every so often you with your felt pen put in a little coded stripes, and it would come along, read the stripes and follow the directions. And so I thought that was priceless. That's like the next thing I haven't seen. So, you know, this is beyond dot and dash. And dot and dash were still out there on the floor, but you know, things are moving slowly forward. I like the integrated circuit mock-ups where you have these giant, you know, so somebody puts something together and here's the power source and here's the on switch and here's the device that, you know, launches a little whirligig into the air, and then see you put all the pieces together, connect them, the thing takes off, right? So you get the, you know, the basic concepts of how electronic mechanisms are put together. So all that conceptual stuff was good. I liked the old trifold with the Pythagorean theorem stuff on it, because, you know, the underlying concepts haven't changed all that much in the past few centuries. So I think we got a nice mix of both. I also like the reptiles. So the fact that you can have this giant crowded room and animals that were so calm that you could have basically, you know, there were some rabbits and stuff, but the petting stuff, but the animals were nice. That was an added bonus for me. I like that. What could be done better is reconnect with all the later science fair stuff, rebuild the program, starting from the baseline of the younger kids, and as they come up levels, they go into trifold land, or whatever the modern equivalent of that is.
I like the Pythagorean theorem setup as well. Even though when I told the young people there that I graduated here in 1996, they tried to tell me about the windows and explaining the Pythagorean theorem related to those are the same windows when I was here. They were like, how long? I was like, 1986, and they gave me a look as if I was ancient, which I'm not.
Ancient.
But they did a really, really good job. Anything to share?
No, I wasn't able to make it. I was at a memorial service, so I ran here for the board meeting, but I wanted to make it because I'm really happy. They had a math night at RJ Bailey and it brought out a lot of families. So I like the fact that the district is going in the path of bringing families back to the schools. So I'm excited about it and I can't wait to see. I think, are we having a science fair this year? Do we know about that? I didn't hear anything. No, but okay, all right, we don't know, all
I
right.
don't. Is it?
I don't know that we're doing it like this. I
Right.
don't know that we're having it open to everybody.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay.
So we will ask that question as well. Any questions on that, Ms. Horn, or anything you want to share about your thoughts on STEAM?
I just wanted to know approximately how many between parents and students participated in the STEAM night. Do we have an idea?
Dr. Macaluso said that at last count, it was over 200.
Nice.
Wow.
So
I think a great day too.
Yeah.
Great weather, everything.
Very, very well attended. So
Very good. 200 is great.
yeah, thank you to all of the teachers and administration for putting it on. Thank you for all the families who showed up, and most important, thank you for the young people who came out and showed their wares. So we really appreciate it. So up next, a lot of exciting things going on in the community. And one of the top has to be what's going on with our boys varsity basketball team. They will be entering the Final Four up in Glen Falls tomorrow. There's a bunch of us, headed up to watch the game. We were gifted by the gentleman from Earn Your Leisure. Big shout to Troy Millings. Rashad Bilal, Mike McDonald, Asal, Abdul Asal, all former Woodlands, graduates who are part of this incredible organization, Earn Your Leisure. And, I can't speak enough to just what these guys have done. I mentioned in the email that I sent, like I've been to all three of the Invest Fest events that they put together in Atlanta. This last time they actually brought some kids down from Greenburgh to Atlanta to take in the event. And when I say 20,000. The first year, 4,500 people, the next year, I think it was 10,000. And then this past year, 20,000 people together in conjunction with Steve Harvey and Robert Smith and Rich Paul and like some of the who's who and what's what in business and corporate America, focused on entrepreneurship and finance. So they're Woodlands alumni. So
And the fact that they want to keep giving back, like every time, they wanted to do something for the basketball team before, they wanted to do something. So I just think it's a wonderful thing that they haven't forgot Woodlands and that they want to still be connected while they're out there in Hollywood, actually producing a movie. And they're doing big things, like there's nothing small about them at all. But the fact that they stop and think about Woodlands, that means a lot.
It is, and I've had enough communication with them to know that it's not, it's not like, oh, let me do this so that somebody's gonna, say something about it. Whether we do or we don't, it's they love the district, and have always been, so supportive before earn your leisure. So thank you to them for chartering a bus for a number, I think two buses for fans to go up to the game, because that's a 3-hour drive, and that's one that I know a lot of people were not going to be making, but now they will be there to support our young people. So we're on our way to the championship.
That's right. We don't do it.
Everybody else have anything to mention related to the basketball team or?
Watch party here.
Okay, there is a watch party here tomorrow at.
Tomorrow it starts at 6:30.
It's like 6:30, but I think
He's
it's.
got my brain.
6 p.m. is when the game starts.
Okay.
Oh, it is 6 p.m.
6 p.m. here.
I'm glad you said that, because I thought it was 7. So I'll try to stop by the watch party.
Yeah.
So for those who can't make it up to Glen Falls, 6 p.m. tomorrow, watch party in the gym.
I believe so.
In the gym, come out and have a good time with some of the community, and enjoying the game. Our boys will win tomorrow, and then it's on to the championship
Right.
on Friday. And many of us will still be up there for that as well.
I think we should give a shout out honestly to the administration, because they had to think of all different scenarios, situations to make sure everyone's safe and that everyone can support. And that's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of just when you bring other people's children into something, you have children staying over, you have to have chaperones, you have to think of safety. So I just want to give a shout out to Mr. Smith and Mr. McCoy and the team, because I know it takes more, and Lisa Raymond was here tonight, that put everything together to just make sure our children are supported, and that means volumes to me, that children first. So I just wanted to shout them out also.
Thank you for mentioning that as well. Anybody else, anything related to?
So I guess I should, okay, so Thursday, March 14th at 6 p.m. is the actual game. And if we win, then the next day, when we win, then Friday, March 15th at 5 p.m. would be the championship game. The championship site is Cool and String Arena, 1 Civic Center, Glens Falls, New York. Admissions and tickets are managed by Cool and String Arena and are available on site at the ticket window or online through SeatGeek, SeatGeek. Additional fees apply, no re-entry is permitted. Once you're in there, you're in there.
What I do it updated, he comes with the detail.
That's his gift.
He knows the detail. So yeah, that's the basketball team. Continuing with great things going on in the district. We do have our spring musical this weekend. I was never one for high school musicals, and my daughter, she tells the story all the time. I just went to the movies one time to see High School Musical, and these kids started singing and stuff. And I got up and I went to the bar. She's like, she'll be okay. I couldn't stand this. I came here to the Fame play last year on Sunday and was wowed by the talent of the young people in our district, and I still don't want to see High School Musical, but I do want to see our young people do Newsies this weekend. So
I can put in a plug, not only for Newsies, but also for young people performing. Whether you love musical theater or not, you're going to see your students grow in a way. You're going to watch a 15-year-old hold 300 people in the palm of their hand, and that is worth the price of admission. I will also say, for anybody who's debating bringing kids, Newsy is extremely family friendly, and it's a true musical theater. It's a true story of a group of young people who organized a labor movement of young people at the turn of the century. They, I believe, struck everyone under 21 in New York City, went on strike, meatpacking plants, garment factories. They started a movement and they took on the big people of New York, and this is the story that they're gonna tell. So bring the family, enjoy the show. Even if you don't love singing and dancing, enjoy everything else about it. It's gonna be worth coming and seeing.
And I didn't know that was the story. So, efforts from youth is something that drives me as well. So I definitely look forward to checking out this weekend. also like, I mean, the kids even like with lighting and stuff like that, you know, one of the things that I think we talked a little bit about is, that doesn't get considered, when, you know, everybody wants to be the actor or the actress and be out in front. But, you know, the person who does the lights and things, you know, oftentimes those are like good jobs, good union jobs that people get to, you know, get to keep and hold on to and you know, make good, solid wages. We're now in, this is not Greenburgh, but Westchester in general, Lionsgate Studios. I want to make this up in terms of the size of it in Yonkers, but I believe it is the largest. There's a stat that's impressive, and I don't know exactly what it is. But Lionsgate Studios, one of the largest studios on the East Coast. I think it might just be smaller than what Tyler Perry has in Atlanta, and outside of that, it's the largest. And there's economic development, you know, for the overall area that comes when people are doing movies, and then there's opportunity for our students where they don't have to go to California, to LA, or, you know, to be in these various different roles. And so when we can do these type of plays here at the school, kids start to develop the understanding of what is available to them, and then they can, you know, hop, skip, and jump away and get on the bus and be right down at Lionsgate Studio for internships and or jobs as they you know, decide what they want to do after school.
Yep.
So that's Newsies, and from here I will hand it over to Dave Finback, Nettie Johnson, Town Art Show budget vote.
I should mention before we move on that Newsies is Friday, March 15th at 7 p.m., Saturday, March 16th at 5 p.m., and Sunday, March 17th at 2 p.m. Tickets are available at the door. General admission is $10. Students and seniors are free. Come on out.
Saturdays at 5 p.m.
I'm gonna add one more thing, that you will
Yes.
have a cameo from the Richard J. Bailey Drama Department.
Oh.
So come see our youngest thespians, one of whom I have to pick up right now, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll see you at the play. Thank you for having Mr.
Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good night.
Okay, so you wanted me to go down the line from FinFac meeting or from Nettie Jackson?
Dealer's choice.
Okay, Finance and Facilities Committee meeting back on March 7th, in line with the STEM night in terms of science development for our kids. Science teacher Jennifer Belfiore presented to us and did a Q&A on the needs of our science labs and what we need to do in order to be current and competitive. And she basically laid out a model in which she said, yes, we need to restore everything that's old and beyond its useful life, and, you know, just get the gas lines running again and all of that stuff. But the way that kids work today is not in rows and columns, right? Where the sage on the stage up at the front does all the demos and everybody sits in their lab tables in rows. What you do is you put all the heavy duty equipment in kind of a big circle around the walls of the room. You have kids with desks that they can slide around. You put whiteboards on as many of the walls as you can, and then kids get together in different groups and solve problems together, and then they share data with each other, so that one group over here comes up with some data on an experiment, other people are doing the same thing at the same time, and then you have a way, you have good Wi-Fi, and then you share all your data electronically and wirelessly and put it all together so that the entire class can share in it and solve the problems. Because a lot of science is not just, I do this, everybody does this, we put our data together and average it together. That's how people work now. So she basically presented that, you know, when you go and put everything together, don't just make it like it was, make it modern. So the committee voted on a number of priorities for phase 3 and beyond, and the one that came out above and beyond anything else, priority number 1, is upgrading the science labs. So look forward to that when we get to phase 3.
Thank you.
Okay.
So with the science labs, the last time they were renovated, do we know the date?
I know a lot of the equipment is over 30 years old.
Cause I remember the same desk when we were in school. So I know there's some green desks that were literally the same desk when we were in school, so. No.
And a lot of faucets don't work,
Right.
and there's a lot,
so
there's a lot of things that really need help. Okay,
Yeah.
and then when we lost our natural gas supply, then we, you know, there's like a canister for the demonstration station at the front, but.
So is this
So the
going to,
fact-
I was gonna say, is this going to be presented with urgency? Because research shows Black and brown children aren't exposed to the sciences as much, and they don't go into the sciences, so can this be somewhat of an urgency? Or is it just going to have kind of like conversation?
I can say
100%.
that there are things that take time,
Okay,
and one of the things that takes the greatest amount of time is getting the money.
okay.
And right now, at this moment, we have $5.9 million
Mhm.
that we can dedicate to this project, okay?
I love
And
it,
so
okay.
I can't make the state of, the state
can't go
education
ahead.
department approve anything any faster.
Mhm.
Our design process can, you know, our guys do things with dispatch, and then you hit the state. Now, we've been lobbying, Mary Jane Shimsky to try and reform that process or get more
Yeah.
people hired or something to shorten the waiting
Right.
period once you submit something for approval of the plans. So we're working on that problem, but I can't make the state move any faster.
Right.
I can make us move faster.
Right, what we can control, like the desk and certain things, we can make go faster.
Yes.
But when it comes to the actual lab and the gas or the water, that's something the state has.
That's something the state has to do, so we will push, okay?
Okay.
And the reason for getting behind pushing this project now is we've started to realize just how long it takes to get anything done, so we have
With the-
all these wonderful things on paper, and then now when you sit it there and you throw it at the state and you wait and you wait and you wait. So, yes, we're working, on it.
Thank you,
Okay, so that's that.
but trustee Jamal wants to say.
Oh,
Yes.
it related, I just, because I said, when I hear phase 3, it means like after phase 1 and 2, I assume, which just.
Phase 1 is done, phase 1 was was all of the stuff we did as a result of COVID to open up the ventilation for everything, so those are pretty much done.
Okay,
Phase 2 is all the roofs.
Okay.
That's the project that we just passed the bond on last October, and so that one, we sent everything to NYSED and we're getting, they're coming back with approvals now. So that means by this summer, we'll do like half of the roofs, and then a year out, we'll do the other half. We've also got the energy performance contract, which should fix all the lights and replace the furnaces and make things more energy efficient, and that's also cranking through. We've also got a fire hydrant project that finally got approved, so once the weather gets a little nicer, they'll go and dig out the lines and up the pressure on all the fire hydrants on the Woodlands campus. We've got a ton of stuff that's gonna happen, it's just that we have a huge amount of paperwork that got done, and now, you know, the actual construction has to take place. And then back behind that, okay, we got, right, so that by the time we get done with that other stuff, here comes phase 3, and then after that, phase 4 and beyond.
Got it.
Okay. The other major thing that we did at the Finance and Facilities Committee was to hear a budget presentation. It was very similar to the presentation that was given at the last board meeting.
Mhm.
So the big news is that we have $500,000 less state aid this year than we did last year, because the state is cutting back. So we expect to kind of cut into that 1.3 million that we normally have reserved for facility stuff. We're gonna do some of it's gonna go to a safety project as a result of all the things that we have done to go over the entire set of buildings and make everything safer. You know, the security cameras, the procedures, all that stuff. And then the other part is we're cutting back a little bit because we don't have as much money. And so the net result of that, we've got a draft budget out right now that is at 4.12%, which is under the tax cap, but it's at the rate of inflation. Okay, and we're hoping that people can deal with that if we can get more money. If the legislature comes back and says, okay, governor's budget, that's not enough, we're gonna take some money from someplace else and restore the school aid a little bit, then we'll see if things can get a little bit better. But, you know, just in order to do, I think we were gonna add, I think, one math teacher at the middle school level. We needed a couple of special education teachers, we're required to do that by law.
Right.
And most of the other stuff is just, you know, inflation has happened to our transportation contract, inflation is, you know, is eating up the rest of the money, so that's kind of where we're at. The budget vote is coming in May 21st. By April 4th, we should have a draft budget for us to look at. The next, that's when the next Finance and Facilities Committee meeting is, so we can look at it line by line, see if there's anything we can do to economize and kind of take it from there. So that's that. Then, first, any questions on that? Okay, we talked about Newsies, we talked about boys basketball, the Nettie Jackson Extra Mile Award. Did you want to do that?
You do it so much better, but I do know that the Ned Jackson Award is dedicated to a community member, or it could be a group of community members who go above and beyond for the district. Last year, our winner was none other than Steve Lewis. I don't have the names on hand of any of the other past winners, but they're people who step up for the for the community. And right now, what we require is 3 judges that are from the community, so that if anybody is interested in being a judge. I got my email wrong last time. I believe it is J Thomas at CSD.org. That's J Thomas at CSD.org. If you can send me an email, just let me know that you are interested in being a Nettie Jackson Award judge. And I believe you said that from the board, you would be the judge, and then I think it's the superintendent will round things out. So we will be giving that award out in June. But once we get the judges taken care of, we will communicate the process associated with nomination.
When do you have to nominate someone by? Is there like a deadline, or will we?
What usually happens is we go to the district clerk, who goes to the person who puts together the Order of the Battered Boot Trophy and puts a nameplate on it. We say, how much lead time do you need? And so we'll go to our district clerk and say, how much lead time do you need? Usually what happens is that the deadline ends up being sometime in May.
Okay.
And
For the
Nettie Jackson Extra Mile Award,
Okay.
and she will figure out the exact date for that. She has to check with whoever the latest vendor is for the trophies.
Okay.
And then the one thing that we also need to mention is that if you know someone that you would like to nominate, on the website is a form, a nominating form, and you go to About Board of Education, and you look down at the bottom and look for a little trophy. And that's the icon that says Nettie Jackson Extra Mile Award. Click there, and there are forms for you and rules in both Spanish and English, and you can submit whatever, you write a little 2-sentence or a paragraph about why you think this person deserves the award, or this group deserves the award. And the judges will get together and look at all the nominations, and then the awards will be given based upon, what they come up with.
Yes, so we will get the page updated for the 2023-2024 school year. So we'll know exactly when all the nominations need to be in by.
All right, so get deadline. Good. Okay, so that's that. Then the Town Hall Art Show, that is April 24th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Greenburgh Town Hall. We will have art from students all the way from kindergarten through 12th grade. Usually we get one or more of our bands. Sometimes it's the jazz band to participate. And so we have some live student art. Students will stand next to their pieces of art and talk to you. If you want to go and have a tour, there are usually hors d'oeuvres served, And then for the next month or so, the art stays up in the Greenburgh Town Hall. And anybody who goes to the town hall for any reason sees our children's art. And it's, especially at the upper grades, some of the stuff gets really, really interesting. So I have never been disappointed by our students' creativity in all the years that I've seen this. We stopped for COVID and we brought it back last year, and I think it went well. There were many hundreds of people there.
Always.
What do you think?
I went to my first one last year, and so I didn't know what to expect. And when I first got in, I'm seeing art that turned out to be the students' art. I thought that it was just some famous art that we paid a whole bunch of money for, in the community. Like the kids were really tremendous. We have some there's talent, throughout the district, and coming out to check it out at the art show will shine a light on it for any who dare to join us. And it was also very good music, last time, which is obviously an art. So we and the food was good too. So good times.
And my wondering is, I know, town hall has been traditionally what we do, but because, like to really capture the art for the whole entire district, it's kind of hard to get that many people in town hall, and we always do it, it's crowded. But I'm wondering, remember we don't have the mansion, but we did it at the mansion one time, we had someone play the piano. But I'm wondering like if we could ever do it either here or at the Greenburgh Library, somewhere where we have more space. But that's something to think about, but.
I will tell you this, we did it at the Greenburgh Library for a while, and then we moved to the town hall. The difference in the town hall is whether or not you get the main room.
Okay.
So if you get the main room where they have the town board meetings, then it's great because all the performing art happens in the front.
Right.
And then, and so, and we filled that place too, but it was, it worked well. And then people circulated out into the hallways, and you had the hors d'oeuvres of the cafeteria in the back,
Right.
and maybe you had some performance from the jazz band in the back, and that was nice, okay?
And then
If we don't have the main room, then it's really crowded.
Okay, so are we going back to where we had like the different schools perform? We used to have people singing.
We had singing, we had poetry readings, we had, right, and we
So let's go
had,
back to that. Okay.
okay.
And the next CEC meeting will also be in person at after the art show. So we
Find a room
everybody
in
come
the town hall?
come on down. We did it last year, like in the there was a table.
Okay.
Close to.
Nice.
People were directly in, right, it was good.
Great.
Yes, I remember. So then, I guess the last thing I
night.
have, good night, is Edgemont Incorporation. Did you want to talk about that, or do you want me to talk about that?
You can talk about it.
Okay, so the village of Edgemont, well, it's not, the area of Greenburgh known as Edgemont has from time to time had petitions circulate to incorporate it as a village. The process for incorporating it as a village has problems with it. It was an ancient and sort of outdated methodology, and while we are concerned that we feel that people should have a right to make kind of a decision in a democratic process, we are concerned that if Edgemont incorporates, it will have a deleterious effect on the B budget of the town of Greenburgh, which is the same area as is being taxed, which is, we are a subset of that. Okay, so if as a result of that and the loss of income from that, the town then has to either raise taxes or drastically cut services, it will have negative impacts on the community in various ways and also make it harder for us to pass our budgets. And therefore, the school board has come out concerned about this issue and requested that there be some sort of reform process. And in Albany, there have been 2 sets of bills to deal with reforming the process, and the bills have both passed. But strangely, they have been written in such a way as to exclude Edgemont, to almost explicitly exclude Edgemont. And this is an area of concern We had like a letter writing campaign to try and get things taken care of in a different way. The town of Greenburgh has hired legal counsel in order to challenge the updates to the law. In the meantime, there is a report on what the financial consequences to both the community in general and to Edgemont itself, what the financial consequences would be if you were to put together an Edgemont village. And that's going to be publicly put out there by CRG at a town hall meeting this coming March 20th at 7 p.m. at night. So if you wanna kind of understand what's happening and what the possible consequences could be, there's a coalition for saving Greenburgh that recommends that we should attend. So if you are at all concerned or interested in that, and I am, then you will come to the town hall meeting on March 20th at 7 p.m.
And if I understand correctly, the
March
one area, yes,
Yes,
And that's then how we have the other meeting.
yes.
the one area of distinction is just like who gets to vote on this change. The carve out is whether only the people in Edgemont get to vote, or whether all of Greenburgh that is impacted by the rule. get an opportunity.
The reform efforts that don't apply. Okay, so the reform efforts that were passed for everybody else do not go to the extent of allowing the surrounding community to vote. What they do is they appoint a commission of 3 people who are experts in various fields to look at any petitions to become a village, and you're required to, and you can challenge based upon whether or not it looks like it will work economically or will cause a hardship, or whether having a village is actually more expensive than not having a village, and all of that stuff. And you can challenge the petition based on that. If you're not, from this particular group of people who have submitted petitions between now and January 1st, 2040 in a county with a population of over 90,000, and right. There's a certain set of conditions that exclude us from the reforms. So even the reforms didn't allow the surrounding community to vote, but we're excluded even from the lesser reforms that we did get.
Got it. Yeah, so it's hopefully many folks can make it on the 20th. It seems a lot of the efforts so far have not gone in our favor, but as an individual, I say we want to go down fighting. So if there's nothing else, does anybody have any news or upcoming events, questions, comments, concerns that they would like to discuss?
Well, we just went over all the ones that I had.
Got it.
Well, you went over mine, we talked about the
Yes.
budget.
Right.
So you
True.
got it.
Okay, well, will, I guess the last thing I'll say is, let's go Falcons.
Yeah.
And we'll ask for a motion to close the meeting.
I move we adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Okay, thank you guys. Have a good one.
Good night.